I was watering the plants in my front yard when the neighbor's little boy ran up to me, slipped a folded paper into my hand, and whispered, "Please don't stay here tonight." Before I could ask anything, he ran back home, terrified, shaking, and silent. When I opened the note, my heart stopped. It said, "You're not safe in your own house. Please trust me." Before I tell you how that single note led to the biggest revenge of my life, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because what happened next will make you question how well you really know the people living next door. My name is Nita. I had just moved into that quiet neighborhood 2 months earlier. It was peaceful, filled with friendly faces, tidy lawns, and warm greetings every morning. My next-door neighbor, Mrs. Miller, lived alone with her young son, Ethan. She seemed kind, always smiling, always asking if I needed anything. Everything felt normal until that morning. Ethan was usually cheerful, but that day his eyes looked different, scared, restless. The moment he handed me that note, I felt something shift inside me. Still, I told myself maybe it was a childish prank. But when I glanced toward her window, I saw Mrs. Miller staring at me. Her smile was gone. She looked worried, or maybe guilty. I went back inside, locked the door, and sat quietly, reading the note again and again. "You're not safe." Those words echoed in my head all day. That night, while making dinner, I thought I heard footsteps outside my kitchen window. Slow, careful. I turned off the stove and listened. Nothing. When I peeked through the curtain, I saw a faint light, like someone holding a phone flashlight, moving along the side of my house. I called out, "Who's there?" Silence. Then the light vanished. I barely slept that night. The next morning, I noticed something even more disturbing. Muddy footprints near the back door. They weren't mine. And my security camera, which usually recorded everything, had stopped working at 1:43 a.m. That's when I remembered Ethan's note. I decided to talk to him, but every time I went to their house, Mrs. Miller answered the door, never letting him speak. She smiled too much, talked too quickly, and always said, "He's busy with his schoolwork." Something was wrong. I could feel it. So I started paying attention. Little details, strange patterns. Mrs. Miller's curtains were always closed at night, but her lights stayed on until morning. I often saw unfamiliar cars parked outside her driveway for a few minutes, then driving off. And once I caught her dragging heavy boxes into her garage at 3 a.m. It didn't make sense until I noticed something chilling. The boxes had my name printed on them. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought maybe it was a coincidence. But the next day, I checked her trash bin while she wasn't home. Inside were printed photos, my photos, taken through my windows while I was home. My hands trembled as I picked one up. It was me sitting on the couch, unaware. That night, I packed my things and went to stay at a friend's apartment across town. From there, I started planning. This wasn't just about fear anymore. This was about finding out why she was watching me and making her regret ever trying. I bought a new mini camera, smaller than a thumb, and placed it inside my window frame before leaving. It connected directly to my phone. 3 nights later, the camera sent a notification, "Movement detected." When I opened the live feed, my stomach dropped. Mrs. Miller had entered my backyard wearing gloves and holding what looked like a small electronic device. She walked straight to my back door, crouched, and started tinkering with the handle. It looked like she was trying to unlock it. I recorded everything. The next morning, I contacted the police, but before filing a complaint, I wanted more proof. I wanted to know why. So I went back to the house, quietly during the day while she was out. I checked around the backyard and found something hidden behind the flower pots, a tiny wireless camera still blinking. It was pointed directly toward my living room window. I took it, packed it carefully, and called a tech friend to trace its connection. The signal led straight to Mrs. Miller's Wi-Fi network. It was undeniable. But there was one thing I didn't expect. She wasn't acting alone. The network logs showed 2 active users. One was her. The other was someone using the name Admin Blue. When my friend dug deeper, we found that Admin Blue was linked to a private online forum where home camera footage was being shared. That's when everything clicked. My so-called friendly neighbor had been secretly recording people and selling the footage. That's why Ethan warned me. That's why she looked nervous when he handed me that note. I didn't waste another minute. I gathered every piece of evidence, the photos, the recordings, the timestamps, the traced connections, and sent them anonymously to the local news outlet and the authorities. Within 48 hours, the story exploded. Reporters surrounded the neighborhood. Police cars filled the street. Mrs. Miller was taken in for questioning, and the entire operation was exposed. Her home was full of hidden devices, labeled files, and stored recordings from multiple apartments. Ethan was placed safely with relatives, away from it all. As for me, I moved out the next day. The house that once felt like a fresh start now felt tainted, like every wall had been watching me. But even as I left, I knew my revenge was complete, not by confrontation, not by anger, but by exposure. Because sometimes revenge isn't about destroying someone, it's about pulling their secrets into the light and watching the mask fall apart. A few weeks later, I received a small note in my mailbox. No name, no address. Just one line written in a child's handwriting. Thank you for listening. I smiled for the first time in weeks, because the truth was finally out, and the people who thought they could hide behind the walls of others' homes had finally been seen for who they really were. Now, whenever I move somewhere new, I always check every corner, every window, every fan, because the smallest detail, even a note from a frightened child, can save your life and lead to justice.